Okay, so today I'm going for a totally unscripted rant. I quite enjoyed the first Toy Soldiers one, but the second one was great. Toy Soldiers Cold War, it's a love letter to the 1980s, which I've used as a phrase before, but it is. I mean, the 80s is big now for kids sort of in their 30s now. The 80s was a big deal, so it's a huge nostalgia hit. So having this game where you can run around as a guy, obviously Rambo, going mad, shooting stuff in this crazy virtual toy box, is a fantastic idea. I mean, it's just great fun. It's like playing with the toys in real life. I enjoyed it. I thought the demo was great, and I thought when it comes cheap, I'll download it. But then I discovered a physical release. Now, it's not necessarily the same game, but it's called Toy Soldiers War Chest, which is, I suppose, the third game in the series, or maybe a souped up version of the others. I'm not sure, and the reason I'm not sure will become apparent pretty soon. Well, I bought this from a guy in America because it's a US only release, which I assumed was something to do with licensing issues, because not only can you play as soldiers, but they've added kind of fun girly stuff in it, like unicorns and fairies, but also they've got licensed downloadable extras from Assassin's Creed, which is yeah, just Ubisoft advertising, but He-Man and the Masters of the Universe and G.I. Joe and Cobra Commander characters. So real licensed classic 80s toys thrown into the mix. And I thought, fantastic. It's a physical disc. The Xbox One is region free, which is brilliant. And I managed to find a copy online I could order from America, including postage, for just a fraction over £10, which was great. I mean, it's taken quite a while to get here. I ordered this probably about a month or more ago, but it arrived today. And I put the disc in my machine, and it was recognised straight off. None of this wrong region rubbish. Took the usual eternity to install from the disc, and then there was of course the mandatory update to install as well. So ran the mandatory update, let that finish, went to start the game. Do I want to do the practice mission? I thought, no, skip all that. I want to go straight into the game, because I've got the basic gist and I don't want to be taught what to do. If I get stuck, I might go back and do that later. So I thought I'll skip that, because I want to get in quick and play with He-Man and all these other characters. Now, another problem I came across, I mean, I bought this second hand, so I didn't think it was an issue, because the front of the cover says Toy Soldiers War Chest Hall of Fame Edition. Now, if you order this online, there's the standard War Chest, which is the base game, and then there's the Hall of Fame Edition, which is the version that includes all the DLC of He-Man, G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander, and this is the only physical copy, the Toy Soldiers War Chest Hall of Fame Edition, with all those characters on the cover. So I naturally assumed this was the full version on disc, because unfortunately inside, and it's second hand, I've got the game add-on download from Xbox Store, Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe, Cobra Commander and Assassin's Creed packs with a DLC code. So I immediately thought, great, well, first off, that's going to have been used already, almost certainly. Second off, is it going to work? Because although the discs are region free, DLC can be a problem if it's another region. I thought, I can see what's going to happen here. I'm going to put in the disc, install the game, and when I come to put in the extras, it's going to say these aren't available in your region because of licensing. But anyway, going back to what I was saying, I installed the game. I'm all ready to go. I thought I'll skip the intro and I will just get on with the game and see if, even if this code's been used, whether I can download those extras as DLC. But, and just out of interest, while it was installing, I actually tried to put the DLC code in the store and it said this code's been used. So I thought, well, that sucks, but it didn't say this code's invalid or it's the wrong region. So I thought, okay, well, I'm going to have to buy those extras myself, but at least I've got the main game on a physical disc. So I go to start up the game and skip the practice mission, go to the start menu, and nothing happens. Like, literally nothing happens. I am pressing every single button on this controller. I'm moving the sticks around, I'm moving the D-pad around, I'm trying the start and select, or whatever they're called in this modern era. I've tried all the face buttons, all the shoulder buttons. Nothing is responding. It's like the machine's crashed almost. It's just a screen with music, various options on the screen. You can pick none of them. The only thing you can press is the original Xbox home button. And that'll take you back out. And I thought, great. I thought, is this because I tried to put in the DLC code while it was installing? Has that upset it? Is it because it's a US disc and something's gone awry? So I thought, fine, I'll delete the whole thing and I'll start from scratch. Could have just been a glitch, could have been because I was trying to do other bits while it was installing. So I deleted the whole thing, I put the disc back in, I reinstalled it, but when it asked if I wanted to run the updates, I said no. I thought, right, let's try and run it without the updates first. So I put the disc in, I load it up again, and I ignore the update, and then try and start it. And of course, it won't let me. It won't start at all because I haven't put the update on. So I thought, oh gosh, great. Mandatory update. Must be fixing these bugs. Let's run the update. So I run it, and I get to the same stage again. And this time, when I've reinstalled it, I don't even get the option to do the practice mission. It goes straight to the main menu. And it's happened again. The same thing. So I start looking online, thinking, well, what's going on? What am I doing wrong here? And then I discover, and this is just hilariously awful, it's a known bug. It's a known issue. I mean, to call it a bug is a bit of a stretch. A bug is where a game doesn't work perfectly. This is not a game. This is a menu screen, and that's it. This is worse than any of the non-games on Steam. This is a game that doesn't even start at all. Now, this is happening apparently on the Steam version and the PS4 version. And they've known about this since 2015. This has been a known issue for 3 years. 3 years they've known about this. Now, going through all the forums, I've discovered that the PS4 originally had some sort of fix whereby you could trick your PS4 by changing the date on it to a date previous to September 2015. Then the game would work, I think, partially. I don't think it then works properly, but it'll work offline. Now, there may be a way to do that on my Xbox One to fudge the time, but A, I can't be bothered to find it, and B, on that PS4 fix, as soon as the time is put back right again, you've lost it again. Well, what? Seriously? Now, apparently, the people complained about this, and Ubisoft said, oh, it's nothing to do with us, we'll speak to Signal, the guys who made it, and tell them. They were told, they're working on it. 3 years later, this still isn't working at all. Now, this is the best bit. This is the absolute best bit. It's still for sale. I mean, I've picked up a second-hand disc online for £10. Now, once a disc is out there, it's out there. I mean, that's one of the best things about physical media, is once you've got it, you've got it. But it's still available in the digital store. It's still available now, today, end of May 2018, you can go into the Xbox store and buy Toy Soldiers War Chest Hall of Fame Edition, including all those DLC, for $24.99. $24.99. And it doesn't work, and it hasn't worked for 3 years. How on earth is this allowed? I'm just absolutely gobsmacked that this game is still being put for sale when it's knowingly not worked in any capacity whatsoever for 3 years, and it's still on Steam, probably at the PlayStation Network, and it is on the Xbox One store as well. Just a few other little bits of news update I want to chuck in. The Pinball Arcade has been an amazing way to get virtual representations of original classic pinball machines, and they're losing the license. It's tragic, absolutely tragic. They're going to continue making the old Gottlieb tables and Stern tables, but Bally and Williams tables are gone. They're all going at the end of June, so there's a month left. All of them, more than 60 tables, are going to be removed from the Pinball Arcade, which again is why I despise and loathe virtual downloads with a passion. I'm showing some footage here of some of the last Season 7 ones I've picked up on Xbox One. The whole release of them has just been a bit of a nightmare. I originally started getting them all on 360, and they dropped it halfway through Season 4. They've dropped it on the Xbox One halfway through Season 7. They dropped it on the PS3 and PS Vita at the end of Season 6. So it's really hard to work out which tables you'd need if you want a chance to play them and which formats are available on. Steam is the obvious choice. Until a couple of days ago, the latest table, Banzai Run, was completely buggy and crashing out non-stop, but that seems to be fixed, so I've ordered Banzai Run, well, purchased I should say, on Steam. But yeah, I'm going to do another video later, I think, highlighting what I think are some of the must-have games for the Pinball Arcade before they're gone. So the best of Williams and Bally. I'll mention it again in that video, but just here to let you know, you can buy a complete set of Season 1 and 2 PS4 on disc, which I believe were only released in Europe, but should work on a US PS4. I currently don't have a PS4, but I've still got those discs from when I did as an archive to keep. And many good tables were released on the Williams Pinball Arcade and Gottlieb Pinball Arcade games, which were known as Pinball Hall of Fame in America. And those are great. So I'll go into that next time. And just another final bit of delisting sadness. In my very first ever episode, I mentioned the Snoopy game for the PS2, which I've recently managed to get for the PSP, which I'm really chuffed about. Had a sequel. First of all, a little apology. That is not a Namco developed game. It was produced by them, but it wasn't developed by them personally. But the same makers here have made this sequel, which again was in the Xbox Live Arcade, and I downloaded it and I've been playing the demo. You can see I've got this Superman 64-esque ring simulator bit and a bit of shooting afterwards, and that's it. I did trial Xbox Live Gold for a month and I managed to play some online games with a couple of people, but another sad loss to the digital only media. So yeah, this has been a bit of a long ramble video. I hope it's been enlightening for you. So never ever buy Toy Soldiers War Chest in any version, because it's completely, utterly broken. Possibly get Cold War on the cheap on a download, because that seems really fun from the demo. We're showing bits of here. And get that Pinball Arcade. Get it on whatever version you can, and get those Williams and Bally tables while you can, because they're amazing, and it doesn't look like they're going to be available again. So, right, thank you all. I am StreakyGeek, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. I've got a new episode of the Desert Island 7 series coming soon, which I'm just looking to get a new cable I need to capture Dreamcast footage, so a bit of a heads up on that. And also a new episode of A to Z series where I'll be doing Far Cry 3 and a mystery B-side yet to be revealed. So I look forward to seeing you all then, and thank you very much.